Well, hello there, Scorpio. How are you? It is so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your March 2024 Tarot reading. We'll take a look first at the overall energy with the Oracle cards, and then we'll move to the Tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit. Okay, so let's take a look at what is on the horizon for you. Okay, in the flow, everything is smooth sailing, beautiful, and chameleon spirit, act as if. Okay, so this is the number 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. The number 5 is about changes that are either you are going through or perhaps you know are on the horizon because you're so intuitive, right? But there's an energy of acting as if everything's good, moving along, everything's okay, because I feel as if you stay in this energy, we'll go to the Tarot, if you go in, stay in this energy, acting as if everything is okay, it's actually going to be okay. Because to me, there's an energy here of perhaps you've gotten kind of emotional. There's a little bit of in the flow, you know, flow is about water and water is our emotions. You could have gotten a little bit emotional about a situation in your life, whether that's career or romance or family, friend, whatever. It's kind of like it kind of caught up into the emotions of something that is going on. But what you're not understanding is that the emotions, you're going to ride out the emotions of the situation and everything is going to be smooth sailing. So it's kind of like not allowing yourself to overreact with your emotions, because your emotions are just temporary, right? If we react because of our emotions, that's when we can cause havoc in our life. So it's kind of like just allowing yourself to sit with that, because we're coming into the new moon in Pisces this weekend. And I feel as if, yeah, there's a little bit of energy where, you know, that new moon in Pisces is really a dreamy energy. It's a fellow water sign, so it is going to impact you. It's about understanding what it is that you truly, what your heart truly desires, okay? But I feel like you may, you know, be a little bit emotional, understanding that there's some part of your life, some sector, some situation in your life that is not allowing you to kind of move forward towards what your heart desires. So it's kind of like, yeah, I feel like there's something, you have kindred partnership. Yeah, I feel like you're wanting some new people or new situations in your life, but it's hard to have those new people and situations in your life when you're still holding on to something that is in your life at this time, right? Stuck energy, something stuck. Okay, in your energy field, something is stuck and you're wanting something new to come in, right? It's going to come in. But if you allow your energy to be kind of like focusing on what isn't working in your life, then your emotional energy will deplete, right? You'll get into that negative energy and the new can't come in, but the new is wanting to come in. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm just going to be in this energy of kind of like really allowing yourself to visualize or get into the feeling of what it is that you want, and understanding that when you're in that energy, it's going to help this to come in so much more smoothly. Okay, so let's go to the Tarot, get some details about this. Yeah, you have joyous fun, and then you have the moon, Pisces energy coming out, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to be dreamy about what it is that you want this new energy to be. It's kind of like, okay, I want new, fun connections. I want more joy in my life, right? You may feel as if some of the things that you're doing in your life right now, you could be in that energy of the things that you have for some time found joyful are no longer joyful, right? Whether it's a relationship, or this feels more like passions, okay? Or your work or creativity, right? You know, it's kind of like this energy of, I want some new, it's like jazzy energy in my life. And the things that I used to find joyful are no longer joyful. Or the same group of friends are no longer that joyful. I want something new. I want something more fun in my life. So you could be kind of like when you're with your current friends or current situations, current work, right? You're acting as if, okay, everything's okay. But I think you're hiding your true emotions, right? Your true fears, that you're concerned you can't bring in this newer energy that you're wanting. So you're kind of like focusing on what you don't have instead of focusing on what it is that you're trying to bring in. And therefore your energy is kind of stuck, okay? Because you have this stuck energy, kind of stuck in feeling like you're not going to have what it is that you want. I feel like the new moon in Pisces is going to be so helpful for you. You know, it may be a little bit emotional, understanding what it is that you truly want, getting into that dreamy state of visualizing, or getting into the feelings of what it is that you would like more of in your life. And when you're there, you may also be reflecting on, well, I that is hard for me to do or get or bring in because I have this over here that really is holding me back. Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of like, yeah, you have the double energy here, okay? So you're holding on to why something isn't working instead of allowing yourself to get into the feelings of what it is that you would like more of, right? And we all do this. It's about reassessing, okay? You know, here's the thing. I think you want to make a change in your life, but what you're doing, okay, is kind of focusing on what is conflicting in your life, right? Is bringing you sadness. And I feel like it could have something to do with your work, right? So it's kind of like looking at what you don't like about your job. Maybe you have some mundane tasks that you don't like, right? Or you're in a position where you get a lot of negative emails. You know, like I'm a retired teacher, and it would just like you would just have those days where you couldn't. You might get one nice email and you get 20 other emails that are just like somebody wanting something from you or complaining about something or whatever, right? And it's kind of like, oh my goodness, right? So I feel like you're kind of in the energy of looking at what isn't working in a current situation. And what you're wanting is to make a change, right? You have the number 14. 1 + 4 = 5. 5 is, I need to make a change. But you're kind of like not sure what that change is. Or you're thinking you can't leave the situation you're in. You have the double energy. I'm attached to the situation. I can't leave it, right? It's a job that you feel like you cannot leave, right? For one reason or another. So you're kind of attached to it. But it's draining you of your energy because all you're doing, okay, is concentrating on what the conflict or the tediousness or whatever it is about your job. And you may be even saying, oh, well, I want more fun in my life. So you could be even trying to have more fun outside of your work. But it's kind of like understanding, I think you want more fun within whatever the situation is. And that may require a change, right? Changing jobs, changing careers, changing whatever. So, yes, I think this has something to do with your work or your career because we have the 8 of Pentacles coming up quite a bit. So you have family, friends, and guides. Okay, your obstacle here is that you're concentrating on the work, right? But what you're really wanting is more, I feel like it's really a sense of wanting a better balance of work and play in your life, but also of work and play in your career sector. Yeah. We all get into that kind of energy of just focusing on what is dragging us down, right? And, you know, if I could just change this part of my job, then I would be happy. All right. Well, then maybe we do change that part. Okay. Maybe it is the email. So you hire a virtual assistant or somebody to kind of screen your emails or whatever, or to actually take care of the emails for you, right? So it's kind of like you get that off, but then all of a sudden it's kind of like, well, but then you don't like this part of of your job, the hours. You don't like that you have to be there from 8 to 5. You want to work 9 to 6. So it's kind of like you're festering on the hours, the actual hours that you may have to work, the schedule that you have, or something like that. It's kind of like, okay, so is this, if you're finding one thing after another that you don't like about your job or your career, is it time just to make a change in it? Or is it time to take a look at the good in the situation, and just concentrating on that? Yeah, I feel like you have some kind of, you have the 10 of Pentacles, and you have the Queen of Cups, and then you have the Hierophant. This is a 10 of Pentacles, concentrating, this is your obstacle, concentrating, okay, on the money, right, that you may be garnering from a career or, a job or something like that. But there's also something about having a belief that you also want to enjoy. I feel like part of this is very intuitive, very creative. I think that this is very traditional. I think that you're feeling like your job is lacking the energy of your divine feminine, the ability to create. It's kind of like you're going in and you're doing the same thing day in and day out, right? And I feel like, Scorpio, you're also very intelligent. You're probably making some changes in your career, right? Or your job. But the truth of the matter is that your heart is desiring to create. And I feel like what you're doing right now is just very traditional, very much concentrated on, okay, how much, this could be, you have a job and it's based on commission or based on, something like that. It's kind of like, okay, but you're concentrating on the money aspect of it, but down deep inside, your heart is wanting to create. Yeah. And I feel like there's something here that maybe somebody or something from the past kind of taught you that, there's a couple of things here that your creative abilities will not bring you the financial success that maybe you're seeing, okay, in your current position. But your heart is just like withering away here. You're not finding the passion in what it is that you're wanting to do. It's kind of like, I feel like this is perhaps, society or people or your family now, because you keep having this family and friends. People kind of, maybe part of it is that you have found some great success in your career, or this is something that you would put a lot of time and energy into, right? Because you have the 7 of Pentacles here. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm reassessing. I've put so much time and energy into this. But it's kind of like, I feel like you're just acting as if it's all okay. But in the meantime, I feel like, your heart is just dying. Yeah, you're moving on, moving towards something that you really and truly want. Loving yourself, bringing together your divine masculine and feminine. Moving in a direction is going to take a lot of courage. Yeah, you want to get back into your Queen of Wands energy. Creative, vivacious. Like being able to wake up every day and be looking forward to going to work, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I get to create today. I get to go, both of these are just inspiring, being inspired once again with your work or your career. I think you were at one time, but something has changed. It's kind of like, people that really enjoy what they're doing and then they get promoted over and over again. And then all of a sudden they're the manager or the CEO of the company and they're not doing the thing that they started out doing, right? Like maybe they were an engineer or an architect or or, you know, a writer or a publisher or something like that. But then in the corporate world, they worked up the corporate ladder and they were doing less and less of the creative part of it and more of the managing part of it. It's kind of like that type of energy of understanding, okay, I'm making all this money. I have this great title. I'm the CEO. I should be happy, but I'm no longer creating. I'm no longer down in the trenches and being able to really love what it is that I do. Now I'm just managing people and understanding, okay, I'm making a lot of money, but my heart is dying here. My soul, this is kind of like, you know, something that is soul sucking. And it's kind of like that energy. It's kind of like when I retired, right? I retired from teaching because it was like when you get to the point where you're getting up every day and dreading going to work. That's not, that is not a good energy for you to have. It is that energy of understanding, okay, I have to get back to the creative side. And for me, as a teacher, I just felt like it was more and more about test scores. It was more and more about, you know, paperwork and documentation and all of this stuff. It wasn't about the kids anymore. It wasn't about creating exciting lesson plans, right? It was just about read the script, give this homework, get them to pass the test. It was like, that's not what I got into teaching for. It's that type of energy here. All right, let's pull your soul truth card, Scorpio. And I do personal readings. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. Who can I serve today? Interesting. Pisces had this same card. I feel like all the water signs are kind of like in the same type of energy here, okay? In a world lacking soul-to-soul connection, small and simple acts are what create the biggest and most lasting impact. We shift our own pain and experience an avalanche of love when we lose ourselves in the service of others. Who needs you today? And I feel like that's why you got into your career, or you started on a certain path that maybe you had to leave, okay, for one reason or another. But it was this energy of serving, of helping other people. Now, you're not really helping other people. You're managing other people, right? So I feel like, yeah, it's about making a change, understanding what it is that you really and truly want, why you are here, how you can use your creative abilities to help others, to serve others. And when you get back into that energy, whatever change you may need to make, and then all of a sudden everything starts smooth flowing. What is it? Everything is smooth sailing. Everything starts to flow in your energy once again. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Scorpio. I love you so much. Thank you so much for all of your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.